Okay, I think I did it right.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so tell me about your father and what happened.
It was on a Sunday night, I want to say before Labor Day that year, that my brother called me and they had found him dead on the side of the road. He appeared to have either been in the ditch or put into the ditch and was crawling out, following each other in their vehicles. She had picked up a vehicle somewhere for repair at a friend's house, and he was following her, and she almost ran over his body. So she stopped. They got stopped, and of course, this was in the 80s. You didn't have the cell phones then. They got somewhere and called 911, or they called somebody. I'm not sure who they called.
Yeah, and you said your dad wasn't good with the cops there either.
He had been. He was always getting. When they would stop it, he would fight. He would go to a bar on Friday or Saturday night and get in fights. And if he didn't get in a fight at the bar, he got in a fight on the way home with the cops usually. But my parents had divorced, and we weren't. I was living in Pennsylvania. I had married and moved, and we didn't see him very often, even though we all lived nearby. And he was back on a drinking binge. You know, he would sober up for a while and then go back to drinking.
Yeah.
And
so he was found dead on the side of the road. And was there any autopsy or anything like that done?
Yes, the autopsy said that he had died from I believe it was a massive head injury, and his lungs were broken loose from inside his chest cavity.
Oh my gosh. Now, how has this affected you?
Just not knowing. There were several people they questioned, and several people that probably, might have really had a good reason to do it, except that's not what you do. I mean,
Yeah.
He had beat his girlfriend up really bad the night before, or maybe Friday night, and he had been kicked out, and her son had threatened him. And the son had been, he had some kind of martial arts ability, very, big, strong young man in his 20s, and he had an alibi, so, which was possibly people lying, because the mother, Shirley, the girlfriend, was sitting at the casket with black eyes and bruises, and it took like 7 or 8 days for him to get the body back after the autopsy for us to have a funeral. So
and you
she
said
was
the cops
still beat to pieces.
Yeah, and you said the cops didn't really investigate at all?
Well, they did question a few people. They questioned his brother because they were bad for fighting. They both drank. They questioned the man's house. Dad had something had happened about some money with a man named Tom sitting on the mountain, and Daddy had been there playing cards with some other people. And so they said maybe Tom did it, or had those boys do it when he left there. He called his sister from there needing a ride, and she wasn't feeling well. And she said, Wendell, you're just going to have, it was a few miles from where he was found to her house, and it was probably 1.5 miles from where he had called from, the man's house. So, but he actually wasn't going in the right direction. He wasn't found in the direction of her house. She told him he would have to walk.
Yeah. And nobody deserves to be killed because, we've all done bad things, and nobody deserves that. I don't care if he did do some bad things, but, there's a lingering question for you that, you don't know what happened to your dad and everything, and that's got to be tough,
Well, the hardest part on me as far as how it's affected me is that I had hoped that, he would sober up one day and straighten his life up and be the grandfather that he wasn't, a very good father. And so that's always, it's been 44 years almost, I think. And, I've got, it's just like, would he have been a better, grandfather and maybe straightened his life up? Because he certainly had opportunities to do that.
Yeah, and this was in Signal Mountain, Tennessee, is that right?
Yes. It wasn't
Okay.
in the city limits. It's in what they now call Walden, but it's in Hamilton County. But it's a mountain that they have a township, and then they have. But it was this. I don't know if the Signal Mountain officers were the ones there first, or the Hamilton County. I'd say Signal Mountain was, because we actually had a family friend that worked for them, and he tried to talk to me some before he died about who killed him, that the investigation wasn't done right because they thought that his brother Clinton did it, and they didn't want to get involved. And you know, the friend worked for the jail, and I don't know if he was a cop or a officer or
jailer.
somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what his job was, but he's passed away since then. And his daughter and I have talked a little about it, but she says, Tammie, I don't remember what all Dad used to say about it. It's just they always thought Clinton did it, which was his brother, and they had an argument. I don't know how long before that. Again, I was living in Pennsylvania, and there'd been some words over a woman, which they were always fighting over women. Daddy would date them and break up with them, and Clinton would marry them. And he was married to one of Daddy's ex-girlfriends, and I guess Daddy had helped her take a dog off that had the mange, which is wrong too, but they took it off because Clinton was in Florida, and he was upset that she had come and got him to do that. So
Yeah. Well, we're going to post this. I'm going to get more information from you, and we're going to post this on the website, and hopefully that leads to some tips or something. Maybe like a daughter or a son of whoever was involved can come forward or something like that, you know?
Okay. So as far as I know, what I was told, and my aunt, she tried to get Unsolved Mysteries to take over it. She tried to do a lot of things when she was alive, but she's been dead a long time too, because she was diagnosed with cancer. I don't know how long after that. So
Yeah.
And his mother died not too long after, and the uncle that might have been involved ended up with lung cancer, COPD disease, very sick his last years. And, it was always in my head that he might have done it, but then it wasn't, because there was really some other people that we, had more reason, and like Bill, the son. And I went to see him while he was sick a couple of times. He would just cry when I'd come and see him, and just horrible, and couldn't talk very good. But it's like he wanted to tell me something, but he didn't. And his sons has actually told my brother that he confessed to it before he died, but they're all into drugs and alcohol, and I don't know that they're a reliable source.
Yeah, and the thing is like, people who do these type of things, they usually tell somebody some way, but but that's the reason we put it out there, is because somebody has been told something, they may not remember it, it may not have been a big deal to them, and then somebody knows something in most of these cases,
Yeah.
But anyways, I'll let you go. I'll call you here in just a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.